Yeah, that's 4 years ago.
What is this?
The show's a little behind the times, Carol. What could I tell you?
Where did you see 210?
Right there.
Oh! Hey, listen.
You're funny.
And I don't even have my reading glasses on.
Neither do I.
Oh, no, that's...
Vladimir Putin? He's in there too for this year again?
Yeah, Putin is one of the people nominated for Person of the Year.
What prize do they win, like a money prize, or are they just on the cover?
You know, I don't know. I don't know if it's done like the Nobel Prize where you get a cash value. But for the most part, a lot of the people who win, like heads of state, presidents, they usually turn the money over to a charity.
I didn't know they won anything as far as monetary
What, Time
value.
Magazine? I don't know.
Monetary value, I don't know.
Although I do know that the rebel, Felix wants everybody to turn the money over to him.
They're suggesting Angela Merkel, who stood up to Putin. She's from the Ukraine, president of Ukraine.
Angela Merkel.
Okay. Here
And whatever.
President of Germany.
Shonda Rhimes. Big deal.
Right. Shonda Rhimes, I think, was a finalist, too. As far as entertainment goes.
And doctors.
Well, who's that?
Oh, Kanye West is good, too. And then they have Jeff Ma, who's the founder of Chinese e-commerce.
Miley Cyrus
is on there.
Bashir al-Assad.
Pope Francis.
John Oliver.
Obama again.
Oh, yeah, Snowden.
Edward Snowden, Person of the Year. Edith Windsor, gay rights
They also
activist.
said
Hassan
Rouhani, the president of Iran.
Rick Perry.
Jeff Bezos,
founder of Amazon.
Ted Cruz.
Texas.
What a group.
Well, you must love this list, Texas.
Boy,
you know how they say over time couples start to look like each other? Come here, look at my cushion. It looks exactly like your body. So you know we've been together.
What is this?
Huh?
What? Nobody hears it but you, Mark.
I'm telling you, I'm hearing voices.
Did you hear anything out of the
You always did, Mark. You always did.
You're probably right. It must be all the weed that I didn't do when I was growing up.
I guess you and me were the only ones who didn't, huh?
Probably. Danny used to offer me all the time because he knew I would never accept. Danny would take out his pack of Marlboros, flip the top open, and he'd have about 20 joints in there.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess George had a good time.
I don't know. I don't know if any of them did. Well, Danny did the most.
I did.
That goes without saying.
Anyway, we shouldn't.
Otherwise,
what's going
on, Carol? What's going on with you?
None. I'm pretty lonely tonight.
You must be if you're calling us.
Yeah, I'm desperate.
We're always everybody's last effort. You know, we're the last.
What? I call you at least once a month.
You do.
You've been very good. Out of everybody, you've been very good. You wind up calling about every 6 to 8 weeks. Okay, which is still more than
I think you should make me a regular. I think I should be paid to do this.
Oh, you want to get paid as much as us? We'll give you a raise.
I don't like your kind of raise.
You don't like our kind of raises? Well, although Felix and I just took a pay cut. I cut my salary 40% and Felix took a 60% cut.
Oh, well, that makes way for me then.
Well, you could come in at the tail end. We'll only give you a 20% cut.
Well,
just
since I'm
remember-
on every 6 or 8 weeks, I shouldn't get as much as you anyway.
That's true. Just remember, when you have nothing, a 20% cut is nothing. No big deal.
It's very true. But we're not supposed to tell our
Yeah,
audience
but-
that. They're supposed to think
Yeah,
that
but
we're
if you
very
guys
famous
really-
people.
If you guys really did good, you never know when CBS is going to call you up and tell you they want you on the real radio.
Hey, you know,
You never know.
we made it to iHeart.
That's right. We are now iHeart approved.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know if it means very much in the outside world, but Felix sent many a letter. He spent many an afternoon typing up letters of...
And xeroxing the copies, huh?
Is that what I did?
basically, yeah. Yeah, he wound up voting for himself.
Very.
Yes.
No, we all.
They complained about the quality of our show. I mean, you can't get any better than this. Come on.
I finally asked me.
Really? Really? Anyway, okay, since you're not... Well, okay, so my opinion is no, what's his name should not be Man of the Year. And I don't really know who you might want to consider.
Well, you know, I'm here and I'm.
Well, I know Felix is he's pushing Putin.
I don't know if Putin.
Oh,
Yeah, every so often he likes to play his speech. You know, he gets a rise out of that.
Well, it's a pretty demeaning speech for Putin.
What has he contributed this year to mankind?
Well,
It's a
I think.
It's a very good question. You see, it's how he's changed the news, okay? And he certainly has changed the news between what's going on in the Ukraine and before then, giving Snowden a safe haven, okay? And he would very much like to awaken the fires of Russian communism. So, you know, he wants to bring Russia back to the power that it was back in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah, I don't consider someone who's causing trouble to be Man of the Year. I think Man of the Year should be someone who contributes.
Well, but you know something? The people in Russia love him.
You got to remember, Hitler was man of the
He's got an
year.
approval rating of close to 80%, while our
I wonder
president is
why.
stuck somewhere around 41. But then again, you know, people who are very...
That's like saying what's his name should be Man of the Year, Barack Obama.
Well, as I said before, Mark was not letting me talk. I mean, they've had Hitler on as Man of the Year. It doesn't mean he's a good guy. All it really
Well, it
means
should be a
is
good guy.
he's...
It should be someone who's contributed to the world. I don't think someone who's causing problems and hate throughout the world should be Man of the Year. That gives them a unfair.
Well, again, you
outlook.
know, I agree with you. You know, it should be somebody who's contributing to the benefit of humanity. But, you know, back in the 30s...
No, Mark, you cannot be Man of the Year. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, when they selected Hitler as Person of the
You're coming
Year...
down to visit me, by the way. Tell your listening audience that you're coming down to see me.
Say that again?
Bill Cosby.
Yeah, what about him?
That's who's coming to visit you.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
guessing.
he'll be next year's. He'll be next year's Man of the Year because he'll be paying out so many women that it'll be news that he's lost his entire fortune, or it's going to finally kill him.
Well, you see, none of these women can collect... first of all, they can't file criminal charges against them because statute
No,
of
it will be
limitations.
civil.
And most of them, I don't think, are looking to collect any money. It's just that all it took is one or two people to come forward, and now they're all starting to come out of the woodwork. You know.
Oh, yeah, the ones that went back 2 and 3 times, I mean, they right away should be crossed off the list. If you think you've been raped the first time, why would you go back 2 or 3 more times? I mean,
look at it this way. The latest woman to accuse him, okay, she was 14 or 15 at the time. And
Yeah.
where did he take her? He took her to the Playboy Mansion. So I say, where's her
Right.
mother? okay, and a 14 or 15-year-old girl, okay, she readily went with Cosby to the Playboy Mansion. So what does that say about her upbringing?
Well, yeah, but she didn't say, yeah, give me a pill so you can rape me. Well,
I agree, okay? And I'm sure that I shouldn't say I'm sure, I wasn't there, but, the talk is that, he slipped a lot of these women a roofie or a drug and basically had his way with them, because they said when they woke up, they were rather scantily attired.
Mm-hmm.
Look,
well, why didn't you say something way back then? Why are they waiting 44 years?
Well, you know why? Because times were different then, Carol. You know that. And Bill Cosby was this big-name comedian and entertainer, okay, who had lawyers and money on his side, and half of these women were basically unknowns, or they were wannabes. So it would have been very easy for a lawyer to tear apart their story. But the thing is, now it's pretty close to 20 women come forward. And it's always hardest to be the first couple of women, okay? When Jennifer Flowers came forward to say, that... Bill Clinton and she had a thing going and everything. All of a sudden, you had somebody named Jones, and then another one, and then you had Monica Lewinsky. Okay, so all of these women were coming out of the woodwork, But as far as that goes, yes, he was the sitting president or a sitting governor, but it had nothing to do with politics or the way he governed the country, And he never professed to be a model of, beyond reproach. He always had a wandering eye. But Cosby, he was booked as the America's father, Dr. Huxtable.
Yeah. Yeah, but let's say he did his work, though.
And it's no different. It's no different than these guys in Congress who pride themselves on family values.
Yeah, every president screwed around. Everyone. Not everyone. Probably 90%. Eisenhower, Roosevelt.
You're right. You're 100% right.
So when you talk about
Nixon maybe didn't
more than
Nixon didn't fool around. He just broke the law.
Yeah.
Well, who the hell would fool around with him?
I don't know. And then you have Ronald Reagan, who used to. Ronald Reagan used to.
What?
Ronald Reagan used to call his wife "mommy."
Yeah, well, that's what he called it.
So what can I say?
I think Kennedy, when he brought all his women up to the White House when Jackie wasn't around, is disgusting.
Say that again?
When Kennedy used to bring his girlfriends up to the White House to mess around.
Oh, yeah. And listen, Secret Service can write a book about all the women that Kennedy had in and out of his private entrance to the White House.
He had special...
Marilyn Monroe.
No, but he had like corridors built.
No, they were there already. The corridors that are built under the White House are there for a reason, so that the president can get from one place to the other without having to go outside. But he certainly knew of every nook and cranny, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, they said he added a few amenities to them or something. He changed some stuff around them.
Well, I don't know. Maybe Kennedy was very good to the Secret Service around Christmas time,
He was the president. They do whatever he says.
Hey, look, remember the woman who...
They're supposed to be loyal to him.
I think it was 2 years ago, the woman who was a college student. She was also almost like Monica Lewinsky was. She was working in the